Happy Father's Day. Hey everyone, Charles Stevens here with this week's Words of Wisdom, Father's Day edition. I want to tell you a story about legacy, not the kind written in history books, but the kind that lingers in hearts long after someone is gone. In late June of 2008, about 6 or 7 months after my papa, Harold Stevens, had passed away, I was home visiting my parents in Brookneal, Virginia, and I made a stop by the cemetery to spend some quiet time at his gravesite. Just me, my papa, and grandma, whose grave lies beside his. And as I was walking back to my car, I ran into Reverend and Mrs. McDowell, an older couple who had once served as pastor and first lady of my papa's church, Falling River Baptist, many years before. We exchanged smiles, handshakes, and then Reverend McDowell shared something I'll never forget. He told me that when he and his wife first came to the church decades ago, my papa, not wealthy, not flashy, just a farmer, had given them a television set. No big announcement, no plaque, just a quiet act of generosity to help them feel welcome in their new home and in their new role. That was my papa. He didn't build a name for himself with grand gestures. He built a legacy of kindness, of showing up, of quietly giving what he had to make someone else's life a little better. As an unknown source said, the legacy of a good man is not written in monuments, but in the quiet kindness he gives when no one is watching. Fathers, grandfathers, mentors, the ones who model love not just through discipline or words, but through their everyday example. The ones who don't just raise children, they raise character. They show us what matters most by how they live when no one's looking. So today I want to ask you, what legacy are you building? What quiet acts of kindness are you offering that your children or grandchildren will still be talking about decades from now? You don't need a platform, you don't need a fortune, you just need a heart to give and the courage to live with intentionality. So this Father's Day, let's remember the ones who led by example, and let's commit ourselves to being that kind of man, one quiet, kind act at a time. That's all for this week's Words of Wisdom. Have a great week.